The Blood Oath of Hollow Ridge. A Vampire Diaries? Inspired story. Hollow Ridge was the kind of town that looked innocent from a distance. Wooden porches, lanterns flickering at night, and neighbors who smiled a little too wide. But everyone who grew up there knew one thing. People disappeared far more often than anyone dared to question that 17-year-old Elena Mercer wasn't afraid of the strange, but she was tired of it. Ever since her parents died in a car crash on the northern cliffs, she had lived with a constant sense of someone watching her, especially during the late hours when the fog rolled through the trees like something alive. Still, nothing prepared her for Adrian Thorne. He appeared at school on a Wednesday morning, wearing a charcoal coat that didn't match the heat, with eyes the color of storms. Ancient, restless, and way too knowing. People whispered about him instantly. Hollow Ridge loved rumors, but Elena noticed something no one else did. He looked at her like he had seen her before, and he had. The first encounter after classes, Elena took her usual path through the woods. She liked the silence until it wasn't silent. A branch snapped behind her, footsteps too controlled to be human. She turned just in time to see Adrian standing inches away. "You shouldn't walk alone here," he said softly. "You shouldn't follow strangers into the woods," she snapped back. Adrian studied her, not offended, almost relieved. "Good, you're not afraid yet." "Yet?" she repeated, before he could answer. A scream shattered the air, sharp, raw, undeniably human. Adrian's jaw tightened. "Stay behind me." He moved faster than her eyes could track. When she reached the clearing, she saw him standing over a creature with gray skin, black veins, and eyes milky like spoiled glass. It hissed before Adrian snapped its neck with terrifying ease. Elena staggered back, horrified. "What are you?" Adrian didn't hide it. "A vampire, and you're in more danger than you realize." The bloodline revelation. Over the next week, Adrian revealed the truth. Hollow Ridge was a hunting ground for creatures older than myths. Not all vampires, not all controllable. The creature in the clearing was a wraithborn, a corrupted vampire who'd lost its humanity after centuries without blood. But the worst part wasn't the creatures themselves. It was why they hunted Hollow Ridge. Every century, the town produced someone with Mercer blood, a lineage descended from an ancient witch whose power could control life and death. Elena wasn't just a target. She was the target. Her parents had died protecting her. The crash wasn't an accident, and Adrian. He had been assigned by the Vampire Council to keep her alive long enough for the prophecy to unfold. But Adrian had his own secret. He wasn't protecting her for the Council, he was protecting her from them. The Oath. One stormy night, Elena found Adrian in the abandoned church at the edge of town, staring at an altar marked with symbols older than the English language. "You keep saying I'm important. You keep saying they're coming for me. But you never say why," she said, trembling with frustration. Adrian finally answered. "Because your blood can resurrect a 1,000-year-old monster, the first vampire ever created. The Council wants him back. I swore centuries ago that I would never let that happen." Elena stepped closer. "You swore to who?" "To your ancestor." He looked down. "The woman I loved." Time stopped. "You loved her," Elena whispered. "I still see her when I look at you," Adrian confessed, painfully honest, like the truth physically hurt. "But you are not her, and I will not let your destiny be written by the dead." The betrayal just when Elena began trusting him. A new vampire arrived in town. Lucian Hale, charming, sarcastic, and far too comfortable in the shadows. Elena felt drawn to him in a way she couldn't explain. Adrian hated him instantly. Lucian wasn't just another vampire, he was the one Adrian had been hiding from her. The one bound to her by blood. When Lucian finally revealed the truth, the world shattered. "I'm not here to kill you, Elena. I'm here to wake your power. And Adrian knows it." Adrian had lied again. The ancient witch's energy didn't just live in Elena's blood, that it lived in two bloodlines, hers and Lucian's. Together, they were the key. Together, they could open the tomb beneath Hollow Ridge, the tomb of the first vampire. The insane twist: when the Council arrived to take her by force, Elena finally felt her power ignite. A white flame pulsing from her chest, raw and uncontrollable. The air cracked, lightning spiraling around her like ribbons, Lucian stepped forward. "Let me help you control it." Adrian pushed him back. "She'll burn you alive." Elena screamed as the energy inside her exploded, sending shockwaves through the church, shattering wood and stone. Adrian shielded her with his own body, blood staining his coat. Lucian knelt beside them both, desperate. "We don't have time," Lucian said. "If she doesn't release that power, she'll die." Adrian clenched his jaw. "If she releases it, the first vampire wakes." Elena's vision blurred. "Then tell me, who do I trust?" Both vampires looked at her, one with centuries of guilt, the other with centuries of ambition. Her heartbeat slowed, and then Elena made her choice. She whispered one name. Everything went silent. Everything went dark, and beneath the town, in a coffin sealed with ancient magic, something opened its eyes for the first time in 1,000 years.